Hi, my name is Jim Dillingham, and I'd like to talk to you for a few minutes about our employee normative database. I often tell companies that I know what the average shift worker likes and doesn't like. The problem is I've never met the average shift worker. Everybody is a little bit different. Some are quite a bit different. So what we maintain at Shiftwork Solutions is a database from how employees have answered our surveys over the last 30 years. So we know what to expect. And if you come out very close to what the normative database says, that means something. If you come out very different from what we expect you to say, that means something as well. Let's first talk about what is our employee preference normative database. We've been asking questions of shift workers around the world and in all types of industries, questions, for about 30 years. Our normative database represents their average distribution of responses to all of those questions. Some of the sections in our database include health and alertness, the view of the company, schedule features, overtime, schedules themselves. We have about 200 different questions. All of these questions fall within these 5 broad categories. Let's talk about how we can use the normative database. In this example, I'm going to use one of our questions that basically makes the statement, I depend on overtime to help me make ends meet. And then employees can respond from never, sometimes frequently, all the way up to every week. Now across the bottom, this is a typical company. This is not an average database, but this is results from an actual company where they have employees that answered the survey that have been there less than 6 months. Some of the employees that answered this survey had 6 months to 5 years, and everyone else had more than 5 years. And we're going to compare these 3 lengths of seniority to the average shift worker. So we can see, for example, for the employees that have been at this site less than 6 months, 45% of them depend on overtime almost every week. And then we have a distribution for people who have been there 6 months to 5 years, and then the old timers. And here's our average shift worker. So what does this mean? Well, a couple of things. One is a lot of companies, when they're having difficulty recruiting, they want to know what the workforce, the potential workforce out in the street is looking for. And what this is telling me right now is people that are coming in, they're looking for the money. They're looking for the overtime. So let's make some overtime available and use that as something that we can call a feature when trying to attract new employees for this particular company and this particular geographical area. I can also look at the number of people across the board in all levels of seniority that said they frequently or every week depend on overtime. Both of these numbers are above the average shift worker. So compared to the average shift worker, the appetite for overtime is high. Furthermore, this question doesn't say, do you like overtime? It says, I depend on overtime. So when we have a very high response compared to the average shift worker as far as people depending on overtime, we know that the number one concern that employees are going to have when we go in and to start doing our job is where's the money? We depend on this overtime, and if you change my schedule, I need to know how I can still make the amount of money that I'm making right now. That's about it for our normative database overview. Companies that hire us get access to this database. If you have any questions, give us a call. Thanks for your time. Hi, and thank you for watching our video. If you'd like more information about what Shiftwork Solutions brings to the table, click on this link right up here. It will take you to a playlist that has several short videos about the types of tools that Shiftwork Solutions has at our disposal.